I-514th, this is Wellness 52. Sergeant DeRosa here with Airman and Family Readiness. Great to have you. Hope you're having a wonderful summer. We're going to switch things up. Originally, the plan was to cover leadership and followership skills, but since Fit to Fight is returning this month, let's discuss physical fitness. So we'll adjust the schedule. We'll cover physical fitness this month, and next time around, we'll talk about recovery or nutrition, and then rest and recovery, and so on. Really excited because this will be the last virtual presentation. And moving forward, we hope to have you in our building so that we can have more engaging and interactive sessions with activities and things like that. So without any further ado, let's talk about physical fitness. I will also touch on some nutrition, just given the situation with the weather. It's very important to hydrate because that will certainly affect your performance if you're not well hydrated. Introduction, we're going to talk about benefits of exercise, of course, energy systems, different muscle fiber types, how to go about your training to prepare specifically for the test in terms of the muscular component and the aerobic component, finding your why, and then we'll wrap things up. When you think about, the reason why you didn't exercise on a particular day or situation, what comes to mind? Were you too busy? Was it too early in the morning? Was it too late in the evening? Is the gym too expensive? Is it too cold outside? Or was it too hot outside? Maybe you were too hungry or you were too full. Maybe exercise is boring. Maybe you think you're too old, or you're too sore from the day before, or just simply too tired. What's your reason? It could also be too dark outside. So what's your reason? Sorry, I can't today. My sisters, friends, mothers, grandpas, brothers, grandsons, uncles, fish died. And yes, it was tragic. So the bottom line is you have to make time. It's really simple and easy to make excuses. And we've all been there. And of course, it's understandable if you have something major going on. But to fit time in, even if it's just 15 to 20 minutes a day of exercise, it'll improve your mood, your well-being, your overall well-being, your health, your attitude, aside from just the physical, physiological benefits. And it will help you feel better, alleviates depression and so on. And we'll get into that in a second. If you're tired all the time, exercise actually improves energy levels. If it's too cold outside, just wear more layers. You can always take them off. If it's too hot, there's things you can do. Of course, stay hydrated. There's these headbands that you can freeze or make cold and wrap around your head. That'll cool you off as you're running. If it's too late, wake up earlier. If you have kids, try to wake up a little earlier. So there's things you can do. The thing is, it requires effort, right? And also, if it's too boring, try something like joining a pickup soccer league or volleyball or go hiking, right? So there's things you can do outside of just plain vanilla running, push-ups, etc. Okay. But what is physical fitness? Let's start with the definition by the Oxford Dictionary of Sports Sciences and Medicine. It's the ability to function efficiently and effectively, to be healthy, to resist disease, and to cope with emergency situations. And there are 5 categories of fitness: flexibility, cardiovascular endurance, muscular endurance, strength training, and sport-specific skills. We seek immediate gratification, but physical fitness is a very long-term process that takes time, discipline, and commitment. And also, along with physical fitness, you need to make sure you have adequate nutrition, of course. That's the pinnacle of a healthy lifestyle. Benefits of exercise. Strength training is great for strengthening your bones, especially as you get older, improving your posture and flexibility as well, and just going about everyday life, right? Cardiovascular training strengthens vital organs like your heart and lungs. It's proven to lower blood pressure boosts HDL, which is your good cholesterol, enhance your immune system, increase circulation. It lowers the risk of heart attack, disease, and stroke. The mental and emotional benefits, which is something that most people don't really think about when it comes to exercise, but they're substantial. It decreases stress hormones. When you exercise, you release endorphins. That helps reduce your anxiety and improve your mood. It's proven to treat depression and boost self-esteem. It also relieves tension, helps to relax, and improve your quality of sleep. Not only that, but exercise actually helps you improve your work and personal life. Why? Because when you exercise, it shows you have passion in something, you're driven, you have good time management skills. It helps you gain self-esteem and self-confidence. You need to have a good work ethic, right? If you want to see results, you need to have a strong work ethic, discipline, of course, and commitment. And then, of course, setting goals, whether it's a weight loss goal or, say, a performance goal in terms of running 5K, for instance. Communication is great if you are on one of those pickup leagues that I mentioned. It builds communication skills, persistence, resilience, right? Resilience could just be as simple as maybe you're sore one day and you don't really feel like exercising, but instead you say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to push through it. And active recovery is great when you are sore. It's better than just laying around because it increases blood flow to the muscles and delivers nutrients and oxygen to your muscles so that they can help recover. Self-control, teamwork, all great skills that cross over to your work personal life. When you think of a bodybuilder, you probably think of someone like Arnold, right? Very defined, great muscle definition. What about a power lifter? Usually they look like they're actually out of shape, but they're insanely strong. A sprinter, Usain Bolt, for instance, he's pretty ripped as well, right? Like very lean. And then a marathoner. Marathoners, you probably think of someone quite skinny, right? Almost scrawny, for instance, not much muscle or muscle definition. So you're probably curious, like each of these individuals are at the pinnacle of their sport in terms of performance and results, but why do their bodies look different, right? If they're all very healthy and in good shape. The reason is different types of exercise uses different muscle systems or energy systems and muscles. But let's start with the energy systems. Aerobic. Aerobic means with air. So when you're doing an aerobic exercise, your energy source is oxygen. And you produce waste products, which are carbon dioxide and water. It happens during low to moderate intensity activities. It's any continuous activity for at least 2 minutes. You're primarily using type 1 muscle fibers, which are very slow, long distance endurance type muscle fibers. Many cardiovascular benefits with aerobic exercise. It strengthens and enlarges the heart muscle, improves circulation and reduces blood pressure, strengthens the lungs and facilitates the flow of oxygen. It also increases the total number of red blood cells, helps prevent blood clots, and reduces the risk of diabetes. Performance benefits. Increased endurance and stamina. You can run longer. Increases threshold for lactic acid, improves recovery time, reduces fat, increases metabolic rate, reduces stress, and boosts mental performance. Limitations. Does not build strength, power, or speed. It may cause muscle loss. It may cause sprains and other injuries. And when you're doing aerobic exercise, your body's using primarily fat as its source of fuel. Now, anaerobic, on the other hand, means without air, without oxygen. See here, the energy source is glucose and glycogen. So you're burning carbs, you're burning, glycogen, which is basically carbs that have settled into your bloodstream. The waste product is lactic acid. That's that really intense rush that you feel in your muscles where you can't really feel like you can move anymore. It's quite painful, but you have to push through it. That's the only way you'll increase your lactate threshold. It occurs during moderate to high intensity exercise like sprints. Primarily using type 2 muscle fibers, which are fast twitch muscle fibers. It increases strength and muscle mass. Benefits: lowers blood sugar, increases bone density, improves posture, improves blood circulation, increases metabolism. So aerobic, going back to aerobic, that's things like running, cycling, skiing, dancing, jumping rope, rowing, running. Anaerobic, that's like lifting weights, sprints, what else? Like calisthenics, isometrics, etc. Performance benefits: it builds strength, power, and speed, increases muscle mass, improves physical appearance, boosts metabolic rate. Limitations for anaerobic exercise: must be performed with periods of rest. Not as effective for directly burning fat. When you do anaerobic exercise, you're probably going to burn some muscle too. It may cause injuries to joints or tendons, right? This is very high impact, high intense exercise, and muscle soreness. This is just an overview of basically the body's energy systems, right? There's 3 different main types of energy systems: the ATP, the creatine phosphate. It's in very short supply. This is what power lifters use. It's like 10 seconds or less. If you're doing anything 10 seconds or less, you're primarily using ATP. Now, glycolysis is the breakdown of carbohydrates. That's a little bit in the middle, where it's anything less than, say, 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes in duration. You're using your, it's just another word for anaerobic. And then the aerobic energy system, that's the very long endurance energy system that you can basically continue for a very long time, because your body's using oxygen for fuel, which is, there's an unlimited supply of oxygen. And we'll talk more about like how you can properly fuel each of the energy systems in the nutrition segment. But for now, just want you to know that, very, very short duration, ATP, 10 seconds or less. Anaerobic, that's like 1 to 2 minutes, and aerobic, anything over 2 minutes. You're primarily using aerobic, but you're also using some of the anaerobic system as well. Now, as we get into the muscle fibers, type 1 or slow twitch muscle fibers are your endurance muscle fibers. They have the slowest contractile speed, high oxidative capacity, low glycolytic capacity, anaerobic, low intensity endurance activities, high repetitions, like 15 plus. So it could be weightlifting or like calisthenics, you're doing very high reps, right? Type 2B or fast twitch, they have the fastest contractile speed, highly glycolytic anaerobic capacity, low oxidative aerobic capacity, short, high-intensity activities like sprinting, bodybuilding, powerlifting. Low repetitions, 6 to 15. And as you see in this image here, if you want to build muscle, you need to really focus on building your fast twitch fibers, right? As opposed to slow twitch fibers, which are more related to marathoners, long-distance endurance runners. Sprinters, on the other hand, have fast twitch muscle fibers. And it's a little confusing, but for us, just want to give you a brief overview just so you understand it. Now, in terms of training, it's always good to set goals, right? What's your goal for the fitness test? Do you want to get an excellent? Or what do you need to get there, right? What time do you need to run? How are you going to get there in terms of your training plan? Maybe you want to lose 15 pounds. What's the duration and time to get you there? What are you going to do? How many times are you going to exercise per week? For how long? To get you, how you're going to eat nutrition-wise to lose that weight. Maybe you want to Grow your biceps 1 inch, improve your bench press by 25 pounds, increase your endurance by 30 minutes, or maybe just an overarching goal of completing a marathon. So it's important to set SMART goals. This is a goal I made several years ago before I even did my first triathlon. And this is what I wrote, just to give you an example. I will complete my first 70.3 Ironman race in Old Orchard Beach, Maine on August 26, 2017, with a finish time of 5:30 or better by weightlifting 2 times, swimming 2 times, cycling 4 times, and running 3 times per week over the next 3 months, in accordance with the workout intensity and volume in my training plan. So a lot more specific in terms of, how many times per week and duration, overall duration of 3 months. Of course, in accordance with the intensity and volume in the training plan, which was more specific at the time. So it's very important to have structure towards your training plan. There's 3 components and then 3 principles. Components, intensity, that's your degree of effort. You can, if you're doing endurance exercise, you can measure it by your percentage of maximum heart rate. You can also measure it by your rating of perceived exertion. Duration, how long you perform the exercise, and frequency, how often you do the exercise. And then you can also throw in their overall volume on a weekly or bi-monthly basis. 3 training principles. Specificity, that means you must train, right, in the exact way or the exact, let me start over. Specificity means if you want to run a marathon, you have to run, right? You're not going to run a marathon by swimming. So basically you have to match your goal activity or sport. Overload, adequate stress for adaptation. It's progressive overload. Increase the intensity, duration, or frequency. That's the only way you're going to see results. Well, actually, I'm sorry, that's progression. Overload is you need to create adequate stress for adaptation. As you see in this image here on the lower right-hand corner, that kind of explains training principles. Training plan, heart rate zones. What is your maximum heart rate? It's really beneficial to calculate your maximum heart rate. That way you can structure your training. So a basic way to do it is to take the number 220, subtract your age, and that's a very rough guideline of what your maximum heart rate is. So that's the maximum you can get your heart rate during any type of exercise. But people are different, right? So there's actually a more complex calculator on that website there, polar.com. So if you have time, go on, plug in your numbers and see what your maximum heart rate is. What are your training zones? Maximum training zone, or zone 5, would be 171 to 190 based on this example here with a maximum heart rate of 190. Hard zone would be 152 to 171, moderate 133 to 152, light 114 to 133, and very light 95 to 114. Now, as a general rule of thumb, 80% of your training should actually occur in the light to lower end of the moderate zone. Only 20% of your training should really be in the hard and maximum zones. Any more than that, you'll cause increased stress on your body. It could lead to overtraining, burnout, and improper recovery. Okay, so you're gonna work out, right? Now, the physiological effects of warming up and stretching, it releases adrenaline, raises your heart rate, gets the blood flowing, pumps oxygen into the muscles, increases your body temperature, your blood vessels dilate, and improves your range of motion. The old rule of thumb was to do static stretching, right? So you sit there, your hand to your foot. These stretches actually, it's found, studies have shown that dynamic stretching is more beneficial than static stretching. So what you want to do is, depending on what activity you're going to be doing in the exercise, a light movement, it's just designed to elevate your heart rate and respiratory rate. Should be very short in duration, enough to work up a light sweat, like light walking, jogging, cycling, jumping rope. Dynamic stretching, it helps prepare the muscles for activity by improving flexibility, extending your range of motion, and preventing injury. But be careful not to overextend, which may cause injury. Do enough repetitions to feel moderately intense stretch and burn. It could be arm rotations and swings, leg rotations, swings, side bends, rotations, alternating toe touches, body weight squats, push-ups, lunges. And then you want to get into your specific exercise, workout, or activity by gradually increasing the weight, lower the speed. Okay, let's get to specifics. When we think about preparing for the fitness test, the first thing we'll talk about is the push-up. In my personal experience and recommendation, in terms of training, this has worked well for me. And but basically, as we get back to that principle of specificity, sorry, I can't say that word. In order to get better at the push-ups, you have to do push-ups, right? You can't bench press your way to a good push-up score. Workout number one is endurance sets. Do the maximum amount of repetitions you can in 20 seconds. Rest a minute and repeat this 4 to 6 times. Adjust the difficulty, the duration, sets, and rest. If that's too difficult, you can either increase your rest time or you can repeat it, less repetitions. You can do 3 repetitions and then each week try to bump that up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. If it's too easy, of course, decrease your rest time, increase the repetitions. Workout number 2, pyramid sets. I like these a lot. You do 10 reps of push-ups, rest 10 seconds, do 9 reps, rest 9 seconds. You repeat this process until you reach 1, and then you go back up the pyramid. Well, you take a 5-minute break, then you go back up the pyramid to 10. You can increase the difficulty or reduce the difficulty by adjusting that rest time again. Try to do all of the entire pyramid, no matter how long it takes. And then weighted sets. This might be a little more difficult if you don't have the tools or equipment, but you can get a 5-pound to 20-pound weighted vest or backpack. You can put some books in a backpack if you don't have one of those weighted vests. Try to do less repetitions to build strength, right? The first 2 workouts build endurance, and you do also need to build some strength. So you can do this. You can do 3 sets or more. Rest 60 seconds between each set, or more if you need to. That takes care of the muscular component. The aerobic component. 3 workouts as well. However, if you have more time, I suggest you run 4 times per week or more. Workout number 1 is interval sets. Very hard intensity. You'll do a 400-meter interval with a 2-minute rest. If you have a smartwatch or even your phone, you can set that up to kind of time the distance, and it makes it a lot easier. Then you want to repeat this. I would start with at least 5 times in week 1 and then increase each week to additional rep or interval. And then the next workout is a threshold run. That's a moderate intensity run where you'll do a warm-up, of course, a slow jog, and then you'll run 15 minutes in week 1, 20 minutes in week 2, 25 minutes in week 3, 30 minutes in week 4, and so on. And then always do a cool down after. Now, if you calculated your maximum heart rate, then you'll know exactly what zones your heart rate should be in when you're doing these exercises. If you're not sure, an interval set, you should go in really hard. It's almost sprint. Threshold run, it's in between a jog and a sprint. And a long run, which is workout number 3, which I'll touch on now, is mostly a jog, light intensity. I run 30 minutes in week 1, 35 minutes in week 2, 40 minutes in week 3, 45 minutes in week 4, etc. So you get the point, right? It's that progression. It's the specific exercise that relates to the aerobic component, and it's that progression. Adjust if necessary. Proper running form. Your head, you should be looking straight, not down at the pavement. Don't tilt your chin up or down. Your shoulders should remain relaxed, open, and pulled back. Your arms should be at a 90-degree angle, elbows close to your sides, hands relaxed and soft fist. Feet, cadence should be 170 to 180 strides per minute. Land your foot under your body, not in front. It doesn't really matter whether you land on your forefoot, midfoot, or heel. Measure your progress. Very important to measure your progress so you know if you're on track, if you know you need to adjust what you're doing. It also keeps you motivated. You can use a fitness tracker on your smartwatch. Garmin, Fitbit, Polar, Apple all have fitness trackers. Free phone applications too. Strava, Map My Run, Runkeeper. You want to monitor your activities in terms of muscular component, the number of reps, number of sets, rest, duration, weight. So keep a diary. Aerobic, measure or monitor your pace, distance, heart rate, cadence. And RPE, that's that rate of perceived exertion. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard was the workout? It's really a good idea to perform a simulated fitness test every 2 weeks. Use the same conditions, right? Under the same conditions, same time of day. So if you usually take your fitness tests in the morning, 9 or 10 a.m., maybe you want to do it on a Saturday or Sunday when you're home. Same sneakers, same clothing. Practice your strategy in terms of nutrition and pacing. Analyze your results and adjust if necessary. In terms of hydration, it's, and I wish I had a chart here because it's really interesting how much your performance will suffer if you're improperly hydrated. Make sure you're drinking at least 16 to 20 ounces of water about an hour before your test. Nutrition, honestly, it's not very necessary. It's not necessary to eat a huge meal before the fitness test because your body's really going to be burning glycogen and glucose. You don't really need extra carbs. But if you do want to put something in your stomach, and that's just personal preference, I would do it at least 2 hours before. Be something light like a banana, a rice cake with some peanut butter, a sports drink. And also it helps to have some, just given these conditions, electrolytes, so potassium and sodium, which you can get through, I mean, some drinks, you have to read the labels, but like Gatorade or coconut water, or the night before, put a little extra salt on your food. That's just a way to increase your sodium levels and potassium. Finally, what is your why? Maybe you want to look good on the Jersey Shore, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Image and appearance, you want to, lose weight, great. Maybe it's your career. You want to earn that next stripe? Well, then you're gonna have to at least pass the fitness test, but you should score excellent. Financial, reduce healthcare costs. Lower your blood pressure naturally, your cholesterol naturally. You don't have to go to the doctor and be on medicine. Physical function, increase your strength, flexibility, and stamina just to perform everyday life, just to get through, what life throws at you on an everyday basis. Mental or emotional, maybe you want to boost your confidence, self-esteem, or mood. Lifespan, health span. The difference between lifespan and health span, right? Lifespan is how many years you live. Health span is how good those years are. So you want to live longer with a higher quality of life. Is it a constructive habit? We have natural treatment for addictive behavior. I've come across, just being involved in exercise and sports, quite a few people who have turned negative habits into positive, or negative addictions into positive addictions through exercise and sport. Family or friends, maybe you want to be a positive role model to your kids or to your wife and loved ones. So it doesn't matter what your why is, right? These are just some examples. It could be one of these, it could be many of these, it could be none of these. But it's important to have that why. Because when your why is big enough, you will find your how. The Strava 514th Air Mobility Wing Fitness Club, available for free to register, join the club, interact, share advice, motivate a wingman. Join today if you haven't already. You're just going to go on Strava, register if you don't have an account, and search for 514th Air Mobility Wing in the club search section. We'll finish with a video.
What's stopping you? Are you too tired? Didn't get enough sleep? Don't have enough energy? Don't have enough time? Is that what's stopping you right now? Don't have enough money? Is that the thing? Or is the thing that's stopping you, you?
Excuses sound best to the person that's making them up. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get off the pity potty. Telling everybody your sad and sob stories, trying to get people to show up to your pity potties and your pity parades. If you ever see me in a Rolls Royce, a 6 or 7 star hotel, living my life to the fullest, don't get jealous of me, because I worked my ass off to get it. Nobody handed me nothing. Wake your ass up. Awaken the beast inside. It's game on. It's go season. It's time for you to take advantage of the access and the resources that you have in your country and your community. You got a problem with your life. You got a problem with your environment. Do something about it. If you want it, go get it.
Recognize the excuses are not valid. They're conjured up, they're fabricated, they're lies. And how do you stop the lies? You stop the lies with the truth. And the truth is, you have time. You have the skill, you have the knowledge and the support and the willpower and the discipline to get it done.
The fruit of everything good in life begins with a challenge. Everything is uphill that's good. And it's not going to come to you, and it's not going to fall in your lap, and it's not going to be something that, oh my God, it just was so simple. It's always going to be difficult.
If you want it, you gotta go get it.
This is your chance. This is your shot. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your place. This is your opportunity.
This is my time. This is my moment. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Ain't no such thing as tomorrow. We only got today. It's your dream. If you want to have it, reach your butt up and make it happen. If you want to have it, rise and grind.
You still got work to do. Stay on that basketball court. Stay on that football field. It's blind season, homie.
All right. Well, that wraps things up. Please reach out to me with any questions regarding physical fitness. You can email me at hello@midlifeathlete.com. Midlife Athlete is a blog that I started during the height of quarantine to kind of get people motivated and taking up exercise to alleviate some issues that they're having. And I've met hundreds of people from all over the world who have really inspiring stories. Like I said, people who are addicted to drugs like opioids, and they use exercise as an outlet to create a positive addiction. And people who have lost like 200 pounds. So if you want some inspiration, please visit the website. PowerPoint slides are available, as well as an infographic that lists key information in a very concise summary, and also a free fitness and nutrition guide available at that link there. Thank you very much. I wish everyone best of luck. If you have a fitness test, this month or coming up, and have a really enjoyable, safe, healthy summer. Stay hydrated, but push through. You know, even if it's hot and you don't feel like getting in your exercise, push through it, of course, with safety in mind. And thank you. See you next time, hopefully in person.